After all the Parshas that we've had in terms of the construction of the Mishkan and bringing all the materials that were necessary in order to fashion the vessels, the Kelim, and the Mishkan itself, comes along the Torah, and Ela Pekudei HaMishkan, Mishkan HaEdos. The Torah comes along and gives us an accounting of what was used in the Mishkan HaEdos, in the Mishkan, the tabernacle of testimony. What Eidos, what testimony is the Mishkan giving? And the Mefarshim offer several different approaches. I'd like to try and suggest one. There's a very strange detail at the beginning of the Parsha. The Torah tells us about 1,775 shkalim that were specifically used for the vavim, for the hooks that were used in the Mishkan. Why exactly, of all of the products that were used, is this one given such prominence? So the Medrash fills in the backstory. Amidst the construction of the Mishkan, rumors began circulating among the cynical few, casting aspersions against Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moshe was pocketing, that Moshe was taking some of what he collected for himself and misappropriated the funds. And Moshe's response was resolute. Upon completion of the Mishkan, he vowed to provide a detailed account of every donation, every expenditure, metal for metal, shekel for shekel. But despite his meticulous efforts, he found himself short. He could not account for 1,775 shkalim. And faced with the possibility of unjust suspicion tarnishing his reputation, creating a chilul Hashem, Moshe was distraught. But in a moment of divine clarity, Moshe realized the purpose of these shkalim. He remembered that they were used to fashion the vavim, these hooks that were used to hold up the Mishkan. And therefore it was the Mishkan itself that testified, Mishkan HaEdos, that gave testimony on Moshe Rabbeinu, on the great Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moshe Rabbeinu did not misappropriate anything, that he acted in the most honest and way possible with complete integrity. And it's a lesson that reverberates throughout the Torah, echoed by Moshe's admonition to the tribes of Gad and Reuven and Bamidbar. V'yisem nikiyim meHashem u'meYisrael. You have to be clean in your lives, in front of God and in front of Jewish people. Moshe's insistence on dispelling even unfounded suspicions underscores the value of upholding one's integrity. That sometimes we are accused falsely, and sometimes we say something that needs to be clarified. All of those things are required to make sure that we clean and clear the record. That was Moshe's proactive response to what took place, and that is what Parshas Pekudei is about. Parshas Pekudei is that reminder that it's not just enough to know in my heart that I did what was right and I did nothing wrong. We represent something so much more. We represent our names, and our names are not small. We have a Keser Shem Tov. We work hard to build those names up, and it is our responsibility to make sure that our names are clear. But we also represent the Ribono Shel Olam. And when it is necessary, when we have done something that perhaps in some way degrades or desecrates the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it is our responsibility to step up and to make sure of Yisem Nikiyim. Even if we did nothing wrong, we were innocent, other people twisted things that we said, we have to make sure that our name is clear. Yisem Nikiyim Hashem Yisrael, that is the Mishkan HaEdos. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu taught us. That no matter what happens, we need to make sure that there's no perception of doing wrong. There's no what we call the Marasayan. Nobody should think in any way, shape, or form that what I did was inappropriate. And then that Be'ezus Hashem, by doing that, we will always be a walking Kiddush Hashem.